Greetings and welcome. This is the New Thought Media Network. I'm Ken Ludwig, and you are watching the Vibrant Living Hour. Hope this day finds you safe, healthy, and happy and enjoying your best life. Doing whatever it is you're doing, wherever you're doing it, that you're just doing it to the best of your ability and enjoying every single moment of it. That you can actually stop and say, when someone says, "Do you like your life?" you can answer, "I love my life." Someone says, "Do you like your job?" "I love my job." Do you love your relationship? "I love my relationship." Or do you like your relationship? "I love my relationship." Always putting that emotional thing into whatever it is you're doing. I'm really kind of getting reacquainted, if you will, with that idea of engaging the emotions. I have, someone who studied a little bit of Greg Braden. I've studied a lot of Joe Dispenza. I've studied Bruce Lipton. I've studied Ernest Holmes, of course. And Ernest Holmes was very, very clear that the only thing that really gave any kind of energy to your prayer was the emotion. And of course, everybody else who has come since then, the Bradens and the Dispenzas and the Bruce Liptons of the world, those people have all just affirmed that you don't get anywhere without engaging the emotions, that the emotions are what give the power to whatever intention or even goal that you might have in the world. That's what you need to bring it forward, to manifest it into your life. I have been kind of re-engaging in study, if you will, of those things, of that stuff. And I came across, or it didn't come across, popped into my mind just, I think it was this morning, actually. The great author, Araya Mountain Dreamer, one of my favorite quotes of hers is, "What if the question is not why I am so infrequently the person I really want to be, but why do I so infrequently want to be the person I really am?" I just absolutely love that quote because it speaks on so many levels to who am I? What am I doing? How am I presenting myself into the world? Am I presenting the very best version of me that I have available in any given moment of any particular day? It struck me as something worth talking about. You hear all the time about authenticity. Are we being authentic? And my question to myself is, am I being authentic? Am I really expressing the true Ken Ludwig? Am I really expressing into the world who I am, or am I expressing into the world something that maybe other people want me to be? Got to adjust myself here. I feel cockeyed. Something that someone else wants me to be, that other people want me to be, other people expect me to be. That I've talked before about each and every one of us, we have our comfort zone, we have the box in which we live, but everyone who we know in the entire world also has a box around us in which we live in their lives. And we do the same thing with everyone we know. Everyone you have a box around them. This is your comfort zone of them. And it's, and whenever anybody moves outside of the realm of what we perceive them to be, it's maybe a little disquieting, maybe a little uncomfortable. Maybe it doesn't work so well for us. And the same for when we do something different in our lives, how people respond to us. Sometimes you do something to improve yourself and you get pushback. And you get pushback because the people around you aren't comfortable. I think everybody in that I know, probably, including myself and my beloved Lisa, if you have embarked on in the entrepreneurial path in this world, you get pushback from everybody. Why don't you get a job? You're never going to be successful at that. You're not going to be able to do that. And that basically is an expression of us having moved outside of not only our own comfort zone, but the comfort zone in which they have placed us. And so now they're confused, if you will, or annoyed, or want to know the reason, or pushing back on it. So what if the question really is, why do I so infrequently want to be the person who I really am? And who I really am is a spiritual being. I am a spiritual being creating a human experience. And I have, in my life, lost touch with that. And I'm thrilled beyond comprehension that I have come to not only realize that, but now have moving in the direction of getting more in touch with that particular truth of me. of who I am and who I came here to be and what I'm here to be and do in this life. Came across a young guy. His name is Jake Ducey, who popped up in a video on my YouTube or whatever I was looking at. He's an acolyte of Greg Braden and of Neville Goddard, and he's a big proponent of prayer. And I, as much as I pray in my meditations every morning, there's prayer work involved there. Hi there, for those of you who just joined me, I'm glad to see you there. If you would make a comment or ask a question or just say hi, thrilled to know that you're out there, but I'm glad you're here and listening to us. The concept of prayer, beyond the idea of supplicant prayer, the Judeo-Christian tradition that we all grew up with in one shape or form, of begging God, bargaining with God, propositioning God, just simply the bowing down to God, I am not worthy kind of thing. That is not the prayer that we're talking about. We're talking about affirmative prayer of claiming the good, knowing the good, absolutely knowing without question or doubt that it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. And to know that, to feel that, to affirm that. But the piece that really, really, really is striking me is what I mentioned at the very beginning of the show, the idea that it is the emotion that fires those prayers, fires those affirmations, that gives us the opportunity to clearly see in our mind's eye the manifestation of what is already out there in the quantum field, in the infinite ocean of possibilities, is everything that our little hearts could desire, ever will desire, has desires, everything that has ever transpired in the entirety of the infinity of the universe is absolutely in that infinite ocean of possibilities. Excuse me, in that quantum field. And if I want to manifest something from that quantum field, I have to present the gratitude, the emotion, the feeling of, oh, as this young fellow says in this video I was watching, for taking it from Neville Goddard, isn't it wonderful? Those three words. Isn't it wonderful? To affirm whatever it is I want, to envision whatever it is I want, to simply see clearly exactly what it is I want. It doesn't have to be, and I don't mean to outline, I don't mean to draw a specific picture, but my beloved Lisa and I are looking for a home here in North Carolina. And so, what the message is to me around the prayer work is to simply envision the idea of that perfect home in the perfect place at the perfect price. And then, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? And to continually repeat that phrase of isn't it wonderful, Goddard says, is going to kind of incite, if you will, within us the vision of what it is we want, and in the doing so, creating that mirror that draws to us what it is we desire in the world. I think that for me, that is the expression of my authentic self. That is who I am. That is who I came here to be. And I have done that at so many different times in my life. And for whatever reasons, at this point in my path, where I really, really, really need all the tools, all the metaphysical tools, the spiritual tools that I have created for myself and brought in for myself over these last 30 years, that I can now put them to use. And I haven't been. We forget how easy it is to forget. We just, I do all this prayer work, but the prayer work that I do so often is just, it simply seems to me like I'm just kind of doing words. And words aren't what matters. It's the feeling behind the words. It's the feeling that you infuse the words with, that gets the universe in alignment with me, and me in alignment with the universe, both ways, so that I can absolutely manifest what it is I'm looking for in this life. And that isn't it wonderful phrase is a great part of that. And I've learned it quite a bit. This young fellow's name again is Jake Ducey, and he is a real acolyte of Neville Goddard. And Neville Goddard was very big in prayer. And he also talks about Greg Braden. Greg Braden has done a lot of work on prayer and ancient prayer, and how to just kind of make use of this ancient wisdom that is ours just simply to use whenever we decide we want to use it. Glasses look weird enough today, don't they? I got to find a good pair of non-reflective glasses so I can at least see my own eyes. And by the way, anybody who's out there, please question, a comment, a hi, whatever it is. I'm so thrilled to see you out there while I'm watching the show. You do my heart good to know I'm not just doing it for myself. And of course, more people watch it in the replay than watch it live. But I'm always thrilled when people are catching me live. So the idea of the authentic self has to do with the complete and total embodiment of that spiritual piece that lets us be totally aware that we are an emanation of the divine, that we are an individuation of the oneness of all life, that God is who we are. Not that I am God, but God is who I am, if that makes sense to you. It is that piece of the puzzle where I am clear that I am an individuation of the divine. Every cell of my being, every space between every cell of my being, everything around me, everything I have ever known, will know, could possibly know, and everything I can perceive in its entirety is just simply God expressing itself as God. And in this case, it is expressing itself as me. I am endowed with that ability to make use. As Holmes says, there is a power in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. I am endowed with that ability. I am endowed with that possibility. And why I don't use it is beyond me. Again, because I forget how easy it is to forget. It's really, really important for my own personal authenticity to never lose sight of that. Never lose sight of the God that is expressing as me, but also never lose sight of the God power, the ability to use the creative force for my own good. Once again, not to be repetitive, but there is a power in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. And we can use it for whatever we desire to use it for. As long as we don't hurt anybody else, as long as we're using it for good, as long as we're using it to be a beneficial presence on the planet, which I have, said before in the last many months, that has finally come to me as I don't need to have a purpose that is specific to an activity or to a particular intention, other than my intention is to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Period. I don't know that I've had a higher sense of calling in my own personal life. I don't know how that resonates with you or with anybody, but I feel like it's monumentally important in my existence at the age of 71 that I focus my attention on being a beneficial presence. And using Goddard's 3 words, isn't it wonderful, is a great assistance, a great benefit in that pursuit, I think. Those 3 words, that isn't it wonderful thing, really does bring you to a point of feeling good about whatever it is you're intending, so that you have this intention in your mind, you have this goal, you have this dream, whatever it is, that you can simply say, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Excuse me, I got a little something in my throat. I hope that helps. Isn't it wonderful? Which gives you that feeling of, yeah. If something really good happens in your life, you go, isn't it wonderful? That makes you feel good. There's emotion there. There's feeling there. If you do the same thing around an intention, isn't it wonderful? You are affirming its existence. You are affirming its materialization. And the other piece that goes along with that, I believe, is just to be really clear. Thank you, God, for materializing my dream. Thank you, God, for materializing my desire. Thank you, God, for materializing what it is that I require and desire in this life. I think that's part and parcel of that. But that is all really super positive, affirmative prayer work that can bring in for us anything and everything we desire. And I think in the end, that's probably the biggest objective, if you will, of prayer work. Bring about a desired outcome. Whether that is continue to have things be wonderful and fabulous and fantastic in our lives, or it's to improve something that's not so good, or to bring someone else's life up to a higher level. I believe that I have kind of rediscovered something monumentally important to my life that was a part of my life all the time in the not so distant past. But again, I forgot how easy it is to forget. We tend to take for granted our work, even our DSP, our daily spiritual practice. We take it for granted. And what we're doing and how we're doing it and how it's coming about. And then we forget the important pieces, the things that are the facets that make it work, if you will. So, interesting. One other piece I've got for you today. I'm trying to do this in my mind here without being too judgmental or taking too many sides. We're living in a very special time. We're living in a time where not just is our way of life in the United States being threatened, but our way of life across the planet, the democratic way of life across the planet, is under siege. I want you to just stop and think about how important it is to be participatory in what is going on in the world. I think if you're a metaphysician, if you're a person of faith, I think if you stop and analyze what's going on, with whom, by whom, I think you have to come to the conclusion that I've come to. And I'm not going to tell you what that is. I will say that the word progressive comes from the word progress. And if we are to make progress in this world, in this life, in this United States, in this democracy, in a democratic world, then we need to participate at a level that benefits all. If what we're doing or the people we're supporting are they're putting forth ideas, programs, thoughts, legislation that hurt anyone, it doesn't have to benefit everyone, but it has to benefit someone other than benefiting them because it is hurting someone else. If a religious belief is becoming a belief or a legislation within our democracy at the expense of someone else, it's just flat out wrong. And I know, spare me the whole, there's no right or wrong, blah. You know what? There are just some things that we know without question are not the way they're supposed to be. Just a thought for today. Just a thought. That's really, haven't got a whole lot more for you today. Just 20 minutes worth is all I got. I just, it's the Vibrant Living Hour is the Vibrant Living however I want to talk. I want you to absolutely always remember that the New Thought Media Network is a nonprofit organization, and we thrive on your donation. So please, when you have the opportunity, go to ntmedia.org, newthoughtmedia.org, click donate, and we'll take whatever it is you want to give us. We'll be thrilled beyond belief. And it's the, hi, Christine, how are you? So thrilled that you are out there. One of my favorite people in Florida, Christine Schumann. I love you. My sponsor, of course, always is the world's greatest CBD products, Hempworks, go to hempworks.com/Ken Ludwig, take you right to my page, and I'll be thrilled to hook you up with whatever you need to be hooked up with. You can also find me at my branded Facebook page, Vibrant Aging on Facebook. You can send me an email to teamrockitnow@gmail.com. I am thrilled to answer questions, do whatever it is I can do to help you in any way that I possibly can. Thank you, Christine. I'm so cool. It's so cool that you're here. But it's, I'm just doing a short show today, so I hope you caught a little bit of it, or maybe listen to it in the replay. It's about being authentic and how exactly do we express ourselves in the world as authentic people. I didn't. So somewhere along the line, I just also wanted you to be aware that, one more thing, just one more time. I'm sorry, not something new, but just remember to donate. New Thought Media Network, ntmedia.org. Click donate, and we'll take whatever you want to give us. We're thrilled to have it. So I want to absolutely thank you, as always, for the great gift that is your time and your attention. I am always so blessed to have you with me. I hope you will join me next Thursday. I wish you all the love and blessings that the universe has to offer. And until the next time, my friends, when I hope every Thursday you will join me here. I hope that you will come and see me next week. But until then, let me find what I'm looking for here before I say until then. There it is. Namaste.